All right, so hey you guys, it's me, it's Tina with Sponge and Stamp with Tina. We are live with, what is today? Wednesday, lunchtime stamping at noon. Hey Chris, glad you're here. So you guys jump on in. When you jump in, I'd love for you to say hi so that we all can say hi back to you. I am excited to be here today. I do have a huge apology to make for missing last Wednesday's Facebook Live. My mind just totally messed up. For whatever reason, I kept thinking that Wednesday was Tuesday, and late Wednesday night, I realized that it was Wednesday and I missed our live together. But anyway, I do apologize for that. That was totally my fault and my brain turning to mush, which honestly, lately my brain has been nothing but mush. I so appreciate you guys just bearing with me, being with me, and just all the love and support that you guys give. It really, really means a lot. You know, our family has just been going through. It's gonna get better. It doesn't, but you know what? God, I thank him every day for every trial, even when it's hard to thank him for some of the trials that we're going through. But he's good and he has a plan, and that's all there is to it. So he is in control. God and Jesus and all of those things. This is a card that I was playing around with, and this card actually has inspired me for today's Facebook Live. We're not going to use the real red. We're going to use shaded spruce, which I don't use that often, and I don't know why, because it's absolutely a gorgeous green to use. And that's what we're going to use, and I'm going to do 3 different cards. We're going to do simple, and step it up each notch. And then I want you guys to comment, what is your favorite, which one is your favorite one? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody will join in here in just a few minutes. So what I've got is 8.5, 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. We're gonna go ahead and, so hopefully I can fold it straight. You guys know me, I don't cut, see, or fold straight. I'm just gonna put that aside. And then I have a piece, this is the shaded spruce. Isn't that a beautiful shade of green? It's really not showing up on Facebook, but it's a bright kind of like a foresty green, but it's bright. It's not dark like the evening evergreen. This is really bright. It's beautiful. So I have a piece, this is 5.5 inches long and 3 inches wide. Then I have another piece here. I don't remember the measurement of this one. This one is, let's see here, we'll just measure this out. It's 3.5 by what, 1 or 2 by actually 2 1/8. Okay, and we're gonna do some stamping on that. We're gonna do some stamping on this. So let's bring in my scrap. We're gonna use shaded spruce on shaded spruce, so tone on tone. I'm using 2 different stamp sets today and a die, and we'll be using some embossing, an embossing folder as well. We're also gonna do some heat embossing. So I'm bringing in For Unto Us. This is a returning favorite. I absolutely love this sentiment stamp set. It is really faith-based with Jesus stamp set. It is, I love it. There's not one image on here that I don't like. And we're going to be using Christmas Begins with Christ. We're also going to be bringing in Tidings and Trimmings. I'm going to use this little leaf grouping right here. And we're also going to be bringing in the dies that coordinate with the stamp set, Christmas Trimmings dies, but we're not going to use that on this card. This one we're just going to make a little simple. So I am inking up our little 3-leaf image here, and I'm just kind of going up the sides. Start in the corner and then up the sides a little bit. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do it to the opposite top side. Hopefully I just made sense there. I'm not sure if I did or not, but anyway, so just like that, that's how we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna bring in this piece here and we're gonna stamp, and hopefully I can stamp straight. And if I don't, I can flip it over, and I already have one that's stamped. Guess what we're gonna do? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it. So you just want to stamp it straight down, straight up, and then I flip it. So there we go. Blooper number 1. I know, the stamp set, Chris, is beautiful. I absolutely love it myself. So we can put that right here. We can pop that up, or we can glue that straight down. I think for this card, I'm going to pop it up just a little bit. So I'm just going to put actually 1 in the middle and 2 on the sides. So on each side, just like that. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope so. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So if you guys are watching the replay of this, thank you so much. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you very, very much. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I hope that you do so. I invite you to do it by clicking on the red subscribe button down below. That really helps me out. It helps me tremendously, actually. And then we're going to adhere that right here. So what I'm going to do is, I think we're going to tie a bow just like we did for this one. Let's see, where's my ribbon? I have to be careful about how much ribbon I use today because I really want to be able to have enough for my class next Thursday, which reminds me that if you live local in the Byron area, Macon area, Warner Robins area, Perry, any one of those areas, I invite you to come to my class next Thursday night at 6:30. All you have to do is just RSVP to let me know so that I can have a card kit ready for you and say reserve your spot because my seats are limited. But I would love to have you come even if you have not ever been to my classes. They're a lot of fun. I have a wonderful group of ladies that are awesome and it's just a lot of fun. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and adhere that down. I just used some glue dots in case you didn't see what I did. I'm not sure if I was in the camera or not. All right, so that's all we're going to do is we're going to do that. And then I'm going to tie a little bow right here. So I've already got a little bow tied. So you could tie it all the way around, wrap it all the way around and tie a bow or tie a faux knot, which is what I've got. Or you can take your piece and I think I'm going to scrunch that just to make it look more realistic. But I need another glue dot for that. I love glue dots, you guys. These are a must-have staple in your craft room. That is for sure. I'm going to stick that right about there. Scrunch that up. Well, it's not scrunched up as much as I like, but it works. There we go. And then I'm just going to glue this flat down. See, I stamped on that side too. All right, glue that down, and then we're just going to stick this right about there, I think. Well, it could come down just a little bit more. I tell you, I don't see straight, cut straight, nothing. I got a little glue right there, it's okay. Now, if you want to dress this up, you can use your dies and cut out your stars or punches or anything like that that you have that cuts out little stars. And you can, let me take your pick tool here. You can put a little star right there like for the dot above the eye, just like so. Or you could just take them and scatter them around like so. Just any way that you want to. You can come off the cardstock. You can take that up higher. You can put as many as you want. Or you can even use embellishments too, like rhinestones or pearls or some of the, let's see here. I've got the brushed metallics. You can use those. Those would be really pretty on this card. Anything that you wanted to use, you can use to snazz it up as much as you want to. Okay, so that is card number 1. Pretty simple, right? So the next one, we're just going to step it up just a little bit more. I think this is the one. Yeah. Okay, so I've got my ribbon. and I have what I wanted to do on this. So this is a scrap piece of paper here. This is a layer that I actually cut crooked, so now it's scrap. Then I have the same piece here. This is 5.5 by 3 inches. Then our card base, which is basic white, it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, fold in half at the score line. And I don't know where my bone folder went to, so I'm just gonna use my nail. But you know, from using my nails, I permanently have bent it in, so it grows like that now. Strangest thing. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna do basically the same thing, I think. But instead of using tone on tone, we're gonna use, we're gonna do a little bit of embossing. That's what we're gonna do, okay? So let's go ahead. I'm gonna clean this off. I am just using some Stampin' cleaner, Stampin' Mist cleaner. I got a little rag here. I could use my chamois, but they're dry and I didn't wet them. So that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so I'm gonna use my embossing folder. Buddy, if you don't have one of these, I've been told that you can use dryer sheets and they work very well for the static. And then we're gonna take this leaf again, but we're gonna ink it up in Versamark. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're just gonna put a leaf here and a leaf here and here. Then we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So just like so. And just like that, all right? So while I've got that out, I'm gonna take my scrap paper, but I'm gonna put some gold, before that dries, I wanna put some gold embossing powder. I'm almost out of this stuff, but I think I have enough to do these projects. So it goes a long ways. So just put that on there like so. Tap that, and then I'm gonna put that aside and be careful not to mess that up. Now we're gonna bring in the stamp set here. We have to clean that too though. So let me get some of my Stampin' Mist cleaner here. Oh, they're almost empty. I gotta refill them. I have my refill bottle somewhere. I still have not found everything since I moved. But it'll all turn up eventually, I'm sure. I hope so anyway. All right, so we're just gonna clean that off. I should have just wet my chamois. That would be much better, but oh well. All right, so I'm gonna take my embossing buddy here and just kind of go around. I'm gonna stamp in the center because I'm gonna use a die cut to cut this out. So I wanna make sure that I have enough room for my die cut to cut it out with. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the embossing powder. Well, thank you, Chris. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Tap that off. That looks pretty good to me. All right, so I'm gonna close this up because we're done with this for right now. I am gonna close this up and move this out of the way. We're gonna bring in our heat tool and I'm gonna get it warm here. Aw, thank you for mentioning that I have online class. I do. My latest one has closed though. It closed, what's today's date? It closed 2 days ago. So I will be probably having another one maybe January. I don't think I'm gonna try to do one next month. So I'm just heating this up. And you can see the magic happen. I love this. All right, so that one's done, so we're gonna put that aside. I am gonna carefully bring this one in and we're gonna heat this up. So isn't it cool how you can just add a couple extra little products and a few extra steps and really jazz something up really beautiful. And it just really makes a lot of difference. Okay, I think you can tell when it's nice and heated is when it's shiny. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that beautiful? I really wish the green was showing up. It shows like it's more of a pretty peacock color than the evening, not evening evergreen, shaded spruce. All right, so I'm gonna go over to my die cut machine, and I'm gonna use my Stitch So Sweetly die from the Stitch. This is one of the dies from the Stitch So Sweetly, and I am just gonna center that on there and die cut it. I'll be right back. I'm just stepping across the room to do this, so just hang tight. It might get a little quiet. I'm going to try to keep talking though. Alright, so I am just going to put a little bit of tape on that, hold it in place. Hopefully it didn't shift on me. It might have, but alright. Okay. Ready to do this. So this one, I think instead of putting this up here and this here, no, maybe I will do it like that. I was thinking that maybe we could put this centered and run our ribbon across this way. So I'll let you guys tell me what you think. I got some embossing powder on here. Let me get that off. Okay. You tell me what you think. So just like so. And take this one. This is beautiful ribbon. This is, let me tell you the name of it. It is Gold Shimmer ribbon. It's a 1/4 inch wide. So we could go across like that. And then we can put this one right here like so. Or we could pull this up and do it just like we did the other ones, which I almost think I like better because you can put a bow on there. And I just think that bows are a must on Christmas cards. So I don't always do it, but I just think that it looks better like that. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I am gonna go ahead and adhere this down because I'm pretty sure I'm done with everything that I want to do with this. So we're gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna move it towards the top, just like so. Uh-oh, that one is not cut quite at 5 inches, 5.5 inches, but it'll be all right. All right, and then we're gonna pop this up. You know what I say, everything looks a little bit more fancier popped up. Oh, you like the ribbon in the middle. Oh no, on the bottom. Great, awesome, I do too. Okay, there we go. So we are gonna just stick this right in the center like so. I think that's centered. It's centered enough for me. All right, and then we are gonna tie this. I'm gonna do this the same way because I'm reserving ribbon. So we're gonna stick a glue dot on each end of this ribbon, just like so, and just like so. And oh shoot, no we can't. You know why? Because when you open it up you will see. And we're going to tie this around. Well, darn it. Let me show you. See, if you do it like that, when you open it up, you'll see that when you open your card. So you're going to have to tie your ribbon all the way around if you do it this way. Now, if I did it across here, I could have got away with that. But there's really no place to put a bow that's going to look right, in my opinion. So we're just going to go around like so. But I'm going to try to do this as frugal as I can with this ribbon. And if I don't have enough for my class, I just don't have enough for my class. I'm seriously considering doing one of these cards in the class, so if you really like them and you'd like to do 2 of whichever one I pick, you want to make sure that you RSVP and reserve your spot. I may even do a sneak peek of 2 cards that I've got ready for class. One I'm debating on, and maybe I will ask you guys' opinion on it. It's a fun, cute card, actually, one of them. See if I can get this tied right. don't know. I'm having issues, technical issues, construction issues, whatever you want to call it, right? Oh, goodness. I'm trying to keep up with your comments. Okay, so let's, all right, let's go around this way. Maybe I can control it better. We'll see. There we go. All right, so luckily this will move on me so I can center that better. And pull that, and then we can trim this. So we'll trim that like that. We'll trim that like that. And of course you can play with your bow and make it however you want to. You can even tie a real bow if you want to. All right, and then there we go. So now to dress this up a little bit more, we can, again, we can put the gold stars. So we can put some stars on here, or you might just want to leave it just like it is, simple and elegant, just like so. Christmas begins with Christ. Amen. Okay, so there we go. We can just do just like that. So what do you guys think? I think that turned out very pretty. I love that gold embossing on there. All right, so that is card number 2. So here's another one. This is going to be stepped up as well. I might do this one. Actually, I think I might do this one. No, this one we're doing differently. Let me show you. This one we're bringing in an embossing folder. So I'm bringing in the greenery embossing folder, and we're using this one right here. I've already embossed it. I'm using the same size of shaded spruce cardstock. It's 5.5 by 3 inches, and I ran it through the embossing folder, and isn't that just beautiful? So, and then I have, this is my scrap for my stamping and my die cutting of our sentiment. This is the inside piece. We've got a strip of gold foil. This is like 1/4 of an inch. This is going to go in the inside as well. We have our gold ribbon, and we have, I may have to cut another one. I've already die cut our star because we're going to put a larger star on this one. And let me show you what I use. So this is the Christmas Trimmings dies. You can buy it in the bundle with the Tidings and Trimmings bundle with the stamp set, and it has all these fabulous dies in here. You guys, I just did an online class to go using this, and if you have this already, then awesome. Then you can, I'm just showing you more ways to use it. And you got your stars. You can do your bigger stars. It's got your leaves you cut out. The little sprig here that you stamp, you can cut out. Then an extra sprig. These are like little berries. It cuts out the little circles. So you have berries. It's got 2 holly leaf things you can cut out, and a bow, and your stocking. So this is really an amazing, amazing bundle here. There's so much that you can do with it. Okay. So let's put that aside because I've already die cut our stars, and that was it. Okay, so now same piece. This is basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold that at the score line and give that a nice fold. Okay, so all right. So there for a second I thought I folded that crooked even when I scored it. But I didn't. It was good. Okay, so here's our die piece. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to heat emboss this in gold. We are going to bring in our Versamark. We're going to ink that up. We're going to stamp that right in the center. I'm going to close this up right here. The star is beautiful. I love the stars. You know, you can use those for the 4th of July too, not just for Christmas. I don't know if I stamped that evenly. I think I did. see here. I am okay with the way that looks. All right, so we're gonna put this back, this back. Let's close this up. Let's bring in our heat tool again. All righty, here we go for the magic. And there it goes. Once it starts turning, it turns pretty fast. Love it. Whew, it does get hot though. Okay, I think that is pretty good. All right, so we're gonna turn that off. We're done with that. I'm gonna take this over to my cutting machine and cut this out. Kadoki. Let's get this going. Line this up, center it. Oh, actually this one I'm gonna die cut towards the sentiment towards the bottom. You'll see when I come back. Not sure if you can hear me or not, but I'll tell you what I did. Okay, so snap, crackle, and pop. All right, so this one I sent towards the bottom of the die cut because you'll see why. All right, so I've got that. This is scrap now, or trash. Put that out of the way. This is here, this here, this here. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now with this one, I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I think I'm gonna bring it up here and just cut another piece and wrap this around here and tie a bow. I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Just like so. And I'll just find another use for the ones that I already cut. I'll redesign something and use it in the card class. All right, so let's go ahead and do this like so. Tie my knot. I tie a knot because one, it uses a little bit less ribbon, so it makes your ribbon go around further. And also for mailing purposes, because sometimes the ribbons can be a little bulky. And if you have a lot of pop-ups and stuff like that, this is not wanting to go the way I want it to go. There we go. You might have to pay a little bit extra postage. That has happened to me where I've had something returned because I didn't put enough postage on it. All right, so you can fiddle with your bow and make it as pretty or however you want it. I want this centered, so I'm going to slide that over. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down, I believe. Yes, we're going to adhere this down, so I'm going to put some glue on that. We're going to put that right about there, just like that. That's not quite 5.5 inches either. All right, but it's all right. It's okay. All right, we're going to pop this up. So let's go ahead. Ooh, I didn't. Pop this up. Oops. Put those all around. There we go. All right, so take these backings off, just like so. We're going to center that, just like that. Actually, I'm going to come down just a teeny bit more. You'll see why. All right, so now I'm going to adhere the gold decorative piece to the solid gold. I really like using gold on gold like this because I think it looks like it's embossed, and I just think it looks a little bit fancier. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here, just a little bit. We don't need a whole lot. Where is my little sponge? Right here. I'm going to bring this in tap, tap, tap that on there. Just tap this on here. It'll be enough to adhere that down, okay? And then we're just gonna line this up on here. Just like that. So pretty, huh? I love that. Okay, so now we're ready. Let's move this out of the way. Bring our card back in the picture. And we are just gonna put our star just like that. Oh, this did need to come down more. That's all right. We'll finagle it somehow or another. So kind of like that, I guess. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here because I'm going to glue that right like so. It's going to stick up over that just a little bit, but it'll be all right. All right, and then I am going to put a little dimensional behind it just to give it a little bit of support. Probably should have put this on there before I put it on there, but I wanted to make sure that I got it in the right place. So I want it right about there. Okay, there we go. So now all we have to do is add our embellishments, and I am going to use these stars. And I'm also going to use a rhinestone, I believe. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat back in. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in there because I'm going to use that just like that. And then I'm going to figure out where I want these to go. So I think I want one like right down here. Well, let me play with them beforehand. And then maybe one here. And then one here. Could come down here too, but actually I kind of do like that down here, but I think I'm just going to keep it up here. So I might put 5 and I might just use 3. So let's just use 3, I think. So let's figure out where, oh, I already glued that down. Oh, maybe I will use 5. Or I could put that like right here. Yeah, just like so. All right, so I am going to put a little bit of glue on that. Come on. That's going to go right there. And we'll take another one. Put a little glue on that. And put that one right there. All right, now I'm going to use my holiday rhinestones. So again, if you have your holiday rhinestones from your Class to Go kit, when you get that, you can use them for this too as well if you'd like. All right, so I thought maybe taking them and putting a rhinestone on each one center of it. I think I'm going to because I really just want to step this card up the most. So, the mostest. I am going to put some rhinestones right, oops, right there. Okay, there we go. That is the outside of our card. Now for the inside of the card, this is our piece here, and I believe, what did I cut this at? I cut this at 5. I actually cut this at 5 1/8, but when you do yours, you can do it at 5 1/4 by 4. The reason why I did that was because of my strip. I thought it was 5 1/2 inches and it wasn't, or 5 1/4 and it wasn't. So that's why I made this a little bit smaller. So we are going to, before I glue that down, there's several different things you can do. Well, not several, but hey, Melinda. So there's different things that you can do. You can stamp this in the shaded spruce. You can stamp your sentiment. I am going to use the May your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives. That is what I'm going to use for the center of this card. We're going to take that off of there. You can stamp, like I said, you can stamp it in green, you can stamp it in black, you can stamp it in whatever color you want to, or if you want to stay with the really elegant look, you can heat emboss. So I think I think we're just going to stamp this one in green because we're going to have some gold in there. We're using the gold strip. I'm going to put some gold stars in there as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to stay with our colors here. I'm going to stamp this in green, but I'm going to stamp it off just to see. I'm probably not going to stamp this straight, you guys, so just bear with me on this one. I'm going to put it right in the center. Hopefully I stamped that pretty straight. Okay, so, oh wow, my hair was right in the way. How many times does my hair get in the way today? All right, we're going to lay that down right there. So let's go ahead and put some glue right there. Try not to put too much because I don't want it to ooze out and get on the gold foil. We're going to put that right about there, just like so. I think that that is kind of straight. Kind of. All right, there we go. All right, so that already made it look fancy, right? And then if you wanted to, you could put your stars. We could do a group of 2 and then 1 above, however you wanted to do it. So I'm thinking kind of like that. And then you still have room to sign your name here, or you can add a note in there, or you can even write on the top over here. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and glue these guys down. I think I'm just going to put a dab of glue. I'm always afraid to do this because sometimes if you get too much, yeah, it squishes out. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to do this one. I think I'm just going to, come on, just a little bit's all I need. Here we go. Just, oops, see what I mean? Just sometimes it pops out just a little bit too much. It's all right. It ain't nothing but a thing, right? All right, there we go. And then you can bring this one. If you wanted to, you could stamp your sentiment up a little higher to give more room for your to write a note if you want to write a little note or sign your name or what have you. And then there you go. And then we're just going to adhere this to the inside of our card. It's going to be white on white, but you'll see it looks really pretty like that. It just looks classy, I think. And just like so. Okay. All right. Now, if you want to get even fancier, you can take your envelope. I think I have an extra envelope here I can use. Right here. You can take your envelope and you can put a strip of gold foil down. I'm always kind of afraid to do that though because it's a little bit thicker than your regular designer series paper, so it could get caught when it goes through the postage machine, but you could take a chance as long as you make sure those ends are really glued down. But you could put a strip of gold foil paper there. You could line your card with the gold foil. Let me see here. But what I'm going to do is, because I love this, it's one of my favorite things to do, we're going to do some heat embossing. I am going to bring in this stamp set, and we're going to bring in the star. This star does have a design on it, but it's okay because, you know, we use the leaves, embossed leaves on the card here. So I think it will be just fine. So let's bring in our Versamark and ink this up really good. Okay, and then you just stamp this down however you want to stamp it. I think I'm going to put it a little bit at an angle here. Try not to get my head in the camera, and I still did. Wow, I'm up and close too. All right, so we're going to bring back in our gold powder. And we are almost done. Now remember, all this stuff you can do to any one of your cards to make it look really fancy, like you either put a whole lot of work into it, and as you can see, it's a little extra steps, but it's not really that hard at all. And or they'll think you spent a lot of money on your Christmas cards. Okay, so where is our heat tool? Right here it is. We're gonna heat that up. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm really happy that you like these. I always worry a little bit before my Facebook Lives, hoping that you guys will really like the cards and that it inspires you. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Hopefully you guys can see that is embossed. Isn't that beautiful? So there you go. So there is your card and your envelope and the inside. And I think that this card is so elegant and beautiful. All right, so let's bring in the other one. So this was my inspiration card here. Very simple, but beautiful. And again, I used real red and shaded spruce. But this one, I decided to use more of the shaded spruce. And then we have this one here, which I really love too. And again, you can dress this up by adding embellishments. You could add the little stars, you could add rhinestones, whatever you wanted to do, or you could just keep it very simple and elegant. It's up to you. And again, you have your star, you could use that for that. And then we have our very simple but elegant card as well. So there you guys go. Tell me which one is your favorites in the comments. And thank you again so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you guys and your love. Thank you for all your purchases and ordering my classes and coming to my classes. And you guys are the bomb. Without you, I could not do what I do. So thank you guys again. Have a wonderfully blessed day. See you later. Toodaloo-doo.